Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you turn your paper landscape. We're not doing it portrait style, we're doing it landscape. Now, I am probably going to keep mine turned this way through most of the video so that you can see what I'm doing, because my camera will not go horizontal for some reason. So, get it turned to landscape, and then take your ruler, and from this line right here to this line down here, it should be exactly 8 inches. And I want you to measure and find the halfway point, which would be 4 inches. So I'm going to line my ruler up at the bottom. Make sure it's not slanting. It's a little bit more than 8 inches, not much. So I'm just going to find the 4 and put a dot there, like that. Everybody do that. In the middle. And then take your ruler, line it up with that mark. Take your ruler and line it up with that mark. Make sure it's not slanting in any way. And you're going to make a horizontal line across your paper that's halfway. See how I did that? Remember, I can't show you the whole page. Now take your eraser, and I want you to erase out your dot, and then go over that line, like so. Just erase the dot and go over the line, because we don't want a dot on the line. Because remember, we're going to have to put 2 vanishing points on our line. Now, this is what I want you to do. I want you to take your ruler, and I want you to measure over from this edge on the left. Measure over about 3 inches and make a dot on your line. See, it's 3 inches from here to here, from the left side. And then on the other side, the right side, I only want you to measure over 2 inches. So line the 2 up with the edge of the page, or the edge of the border that you drew, and then make a dot at the end of the ruler. Those are going to be your 2 vanishing points for this drawing. Now, in between these 2 points, we have to draw a vertical line, okay? Because remember, I told you that 2-point perspective has a line that kind of divides the paper, and everything on the left side of the line goes to the left vanishing point, and everything on the right side of the line goes to the right vanishing point. So we're going to make a line, a vertical line in here, and we're going to off-center it. So I'm going to measure the distance between those 2 points. Looks like it's 6 inches. The distance should be 6 inches. It might be a little bit off, but for the most part, it should be close to 6 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down and I'm going to make my line at the 4-inch mark. So I'm making a little mark there at the 4-inch mark. See how I made the line at the 4-inch mark? And then I'm going to turn my ruler vertical, and I'm going to line it up with that mark. And I'm going to make sure my ruler's not slanting, because I don't want my line to slant. And I'm going to start the line at the bottom at the 1.5-inch mark. And I'm going to make it go all the way up to the 7-inch mark. Y'all see how I did that? I started it at the 1.5-inch mark, and I made it go all the way up to the 7-inch mark. I'm going to turn it this way so y'all can see it better. So I started it at the 1.5 inch mark and ended it at the 7 inch mark. Alright, I'm going to stop here and I'm going to check on you. What you've got to do is we've got to line this point up with that vanishing point and make a converging line back, and this point with that point and make a converging line back. So I'm going to line my ruler up with the vanishing point and the top of the line. So everybody see? And I'm going to connect this line to the vanishing point, like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. Like so. And then when you get those two done, you're going to go on the other side and you're going to do the same thing over here. Okay? So you're going to line your ruler up with the top here and the vanishing point on the left-hand side. Like so. So it should look kind of like a kite. Okay, does anybody need more time? Alright, so now this is what I want you to do. So y'all need to pay attention to this. Watch it very closely, okay? I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line it up horizontally on the horizon line here. See how I've done that? And I'm going to make sure that this part of my ruler is lined up flush with that original vertical line that I made. This line right here. See how they're flush? And then I'm going to make a mark at the 1.5 inch mark. I'm sorry, 1 inch mark. So I make a little mark at the 1 inch mark. See how I did that? I made a little mark over 1 inch. Now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to turn it vertical and I'm going to line it up with that little mark that I just made. And I want to double check and make sure that the ruler's not slanting in any way. And I'm going to make a vertical line that connects the bottom converging line with the top converging line. See how I did that? Everybody see it? Raise your hand if you still need time or help. Okay, now I want you to do the same thing on the other side. Turn your ruler horizontal. And this time, you're going to line the vertical line here up with your 2.5 inch, 2 inch mark. So that's 2 inches. There's the 2 inch mark. I've lined that vertical line up with it. And I'm going to make a mark at the end of the ruler. And then I'm going to take my ruler, I'm going to turn it vertical, and I'm going to make a mark from the bottom converging line to the top converging line, just like that. Everybody got it? Now we're going to take away some lines so that you guys can see what we just did. Alright? So what I want you to do is I want you to erase this line right here. See this line right here? I want you to erase it just between the two lines. Just that line. And now you're going to erase this line right here. This right here is a building. Do y'all see that? Okay. We're going to draw one more building on this side so you guys can see it.
Can it be a different height?
It has to be a different height. Like, it has to be. Because it would, like, it has to do the illusion of space. Like, it has to get smaller as it goes back. Okay. So, this is what you're going to do. Take your ruler. Line it up flush with this horizon line again. And this time, I want you guys to put the half-inch mark, no, I'm sorry, the quarter-inch mark. See the quarter-inch mark there? I want you to put the quarter-inch mark flush with that last vertical line. And at the end of the ruler, you're going to make a mark. So there should be a 1/4 inch between this line and that mark. 1/4 inch. That's this part right here. 1/4 inch right there. Very small. And then you're going to turn your ruler vertical, line it up, and make a vertical line. Like this. Mikhail. Alright, so 1/4 inch. If you divide the inch into 4 sections, 1/4 would be the first section. And then a vertical line lining up with that connects the top converging line to the bottom converging line. So everybody got this? Anybody need help? Now's the time to ask before I move on. Okay, so we're going to take our ruler, we're going to turn it horizontal again. And this time, on this line that we just drew, we're going to line it up at the 3/4 inch mark. Not a full inch, 3/4. That's that mark right there. And we're going to make a mark on the horizon line. At 3/4 inch. Now take your ruler, turn it vertical, and line it up. Make sure it's not slanting. And draw a vertical line that connects the top converging line with the bottom converging line. Now here's where it's going to get tricky. Okay? Everybody ready? We're going to take our ruler and we're going to line this intersection right here. Do y'all see that intersection? See where those two lines meet? From that point where those two lines intersect, we're going to line that up with this vanishing point. And just in that small area, we're going to make a converging line like that. See how I did that? So that intersection, line your ruler up and just make a converging line in that intersection. And you're going to do the same thing up here at this intersection. You're going to take your ruler, you're going to line it up, and make a small converging line where they intersect. Now I'm going to come around and check on y'all. Alright, let's do some more erasing so that we can see our building. So what I want you to do is I want you to erase this line right here, this small portion of the horizon line. And then you'll erase this portion of the horizon line here. And I'm going to erase Well, I'm going to let y'all get caught up. Now I'm going to erase this part of the converging line here and the little circle that I made. So I'm just going to erase out that part of the converging line and the little circle. And I'm going to go back in and go over these lines so they're still there, because that's the corner of my building. Do y'all see that? And I'm going to do the same thing at the top. Now, if you were to keep going, you could essentially add another building here and do the same thing again, just like I did there. But what I'm going to show you how to do now is how to put windows and doors in these buildings so that you know what to do on the sides. And then I'm going to let you do whatever you want on this side. Okay? Do I have any questions before I start doing that? Everybody good? All right, so what we need to do is we need to measure this out here. So line your ruler up vertically with that line right there, the original vertical line. Line your ruler up vertically with the original vertical line. And it looks like it's about 5.5 inches. Does anybody have something different than that? Or do you have pretty close to 5.5 inches? So what I think we're going to do, I think we're going to put 6 rows of windows and then a door down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find my center point, which would be about 2 3/4. Wouldn't y'all agree? 2 3/4 maybe, right there. I think it's 2 3/4. See that? See how that went up to the third quarter mark? And then I'm going to divide each side up into 3 equal sections. So I'm going to do a mark here. I'm just eyeballing it at this point. I'm not measuring. And I know that I want to have a segment here, a segment here, and a segment there. So I'm just going to kind of do this and this. And then do one there and one there. And one here and one here. So I don't care if your measurements are right on this. I just want you to eyeball it, okay? You're dividing that up into 3 sections. So I've got a mark here and a mark here. That's section 1. I've got a mark here and a mark here. That's section 2. One here and one here. That's section 3. Got it? So you do that at the bottom of your paper. Remember, you're not measuring. I didn't measure it against the ruler. I just eyeballed it. So I'm going to go to the top, and I'm going to do it again. So I should have another 1, 2, 3. That gives me a total of 6 sections. Now once you have your 6 sections made, for each little mark of each little section, you're going to make a converging line back to the dot on the right hand side, like this. So I'm going to line my ruler up with that mark and the vanishing point. And I'm going to do it again for this one. until I have 12 lines all the way across the side. Whoops, I got off on that one. If you get off like I just did, just fix it and do it again. Now when you get done, I want you to count your lines. If you don't have 12 on the inside, then you got off somehow. So you need to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Don't count the top and the bottom of the building. Just the lines on the inside. I'm going to come around and check on you. So after you got your ruler turned vertical, you're going to line it up flush with the edge of that original vertical line, the one you just put 6 segments on. You're going to pull it back just a little bit, probably like 1/4 of an inch. Maybe not even 1/4 of an inch, maybe an 1/8. And you're going to make a a vertical line that connects the top and the bottom. Make sure your ruler's not slanting. So I made a vertical line that connected my top and my bottom. And I made sure that it wasn't slanting. And I did it on the side that I've been drawing these converging lines on, not the other side. Now take your ruler, turn it horizontal, and line it up flush with that vertical line that you just made. Like this. And then I want you to measure over find the 1/4 inch mark. You see the 1/4 inch mark there? But then go over 2 lines. So we're going to make a mark right there. It's not quite 1/2 inch. And it's not quite 1/4. It's between the two. What is that called fractionally? It's 1, 2, 3, 3/8. Is that right? 3/8. And then you're going to turn your ruler vertical. Line it up with that mark that you just made. Make sure your ruler's not slanting in any way. And make another vertical line that connects the top and the bottom. Okay? I'm going to give you guys a minute to get that vertical line drawn, and then we're going to start doing some erasing. It's this thing. It's coming out. Y'all ready to erase, or you need more time? Now you're going to erase some stuff. The first thing we're going to do, all these little lines right here, in just this small section right there that we measured a minute ago, we're only going to erase those. So you may just want to watch me for a minute. Just going to erase all the way down. Don't erase your original line, and don't erase the line that you drew. If your line erases just a little bit, go back over it. Make it dark again. So you just erased in that small segment there. Anybody need more time? Okay. Here's where it gets tricky. Are y'all ready? I'm going to pause. So you're going to erase these two lines here. Everybody see those two lines? Erase that one and that one. Do that now. So I erased that line and that line. And you're going to erase this line right here. See where my pencil's pointed? Erase that line and the one next to it right here. So what we're doing is we're going to be skipping every other line. And then I'm going to skip up and I'm going to erase this line and this line. This one and this one. And then I'm going to skip up again. I'm going to erase this one and this one. Do y'all see the windows? And then I'm going to go up and I'm going to skip the next section. I'm going to keep going until I have 6 squares. I'm going to come around and check on you. So what I did was I measured over from the right side of the windows over 1/4 of an inch, made a mark, turned my ruler vertical, and made a vertical line that connected the top and the bottom 1/4 of an inch over. Now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to turn it vertical again. I'm going to put it flush with that vertical line that I just drew. And I'm going to pull it over just a little so that it's only slightly larger or almost the same size as the space between here and here, which was what? 1/4 of an inch, right? So if you want to turn your ruler horizontal and measure it, you can. And then make a vertical line that connects the top and the bottom, like so. So it was 1/4 of an inch from here to here and a vertical line, 1/4 of an inch from here to here and a vertical line. Alright, here we go. Erasing demo. So I want you to erase this line and this line. Those two lines at the bottom. This one right here and this one right here. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to erase those out. Don't erase this line. That's the line. That line is the edge of your building. Okay? And then you're going to go up and you're going to erase this line and this line. So this one and this one. So I erased this one and this one. I skipped these two, and I went to the next section and erased these two. Now I'm going to skip those two, and I'm going to erase these two. So I'm erasing this one and this one. It should match up exactly with what you erased earlier, you guys. So if you got it right earlier, it should match up perfectly with what you erased on this side. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to do this section. And I'm going to do this section. And the top two lines. And remember, if you accidentally erased anything important, go back in and draw it in. Does anybody need more time erasing out those lines? Y'all good? Colin, you good? Alright. Now we're going to erase these lines here. See these two lines right here? We're going to erase those out. Gone. So it was that line and that line. They connected the two squares. And then we're going to erase these two.